Hey guys, so today we have a special guest on the channel. It is the Realme GT. This is Realme's latest gaming-oriented flagship with a 120Hz screen, a Snapdragon 888, a 64 megapixel camera for a €400 price tag, which is insane. This phone has the exact same chip as your Mi 11, OnePlus 9 and even the S21 Ultra. Is the GT the flagship killer of this year? Well, let's find out. First, let's have a look at what is inside the box. You will find the phone, a 65-watt super dart charger, an USB-C charging cable, a silicone case, and the usual paperwork. First and foremost, this phone looks great. It's a glass sandwich with a plastic frame in the middle. The front panel is flat, while the back one is slightly curved for better handling. This yellow finish is amazing. It has a really unique color design. It looks like a racing car. It is important to note that the back is in vegan leather, which has a really good feeling in the hand. This phone also comes in dashing blue and dashing silver. On the sides, you get your power and volume rocker, the USB-C port, and a headphone jack, which is pretty rare in 2021. In the back, there is the camera module, which looks like any other phone with 3 cameras. In the front, under the screen, we have an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is really fast and responsive. The earpiece in the top also acts as a speaker for stereo sound. It's not the best sound ever, but good for the price. And finally, we have this gorgeous 6.43 inches 1080p Super AMOLED screen with 120Hz refresh rate and 360Hz touch sampling rate. That's a lot of words. This is one of the major specs of this phone. It looks really sharp and smooth. It gets bright, colors are beautiful, and high refresh rate is a must-have in 2021. In an app or a game, you won't feel any lag or weird choppiness, it's all smooth. This amazing screen combined with a Snapdragon 888 processor and up to 12 gigs of RAM makes an awesome smooth experience. No matter what we'll be doing on this phone, it is going to be stupid fast. Whether it's multitasking, watching videos or gaming, this thing flies without even heating. That's thanks to an innovative stainless steel vapor cooling system which has 50% increased cooling than any other phone. This is really useful for a long period of gaming. With high refresh rate, all these specs make this phone amazing for all sorts of games, from Among Us to Call of Duty. In benchmarks, the GT scores like all the major Android flagships of this year. The Snapdragon 888 processor is a real beast. And it has 5G too. That brings us to software. Well, Realme UI is almost the same as Oppo's ColorOS. They both are from the same company called BBK Electronics, so that's logic. This phone has every possible feature that you can get on a phone. The user interface is polished, thanks to consistency and animations. It looks really nice. At first glance, it looks really simple, but when opening the Settings app, there is a bucket load of features waiting for you. For example, you can split view just using 3 fingers. It looks so simple to use. There is an always-on display, which you can heavily customize with your own pattern text. You can have a sidebar to have a quick access to your apps too. Like I said earlier, you can do pretty much everything on this phone. Now, let's talk cameras. There is a 64 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 2 megapixel macro camera. Taking photos with this phone is a pretty good experience in daylight. The image processing is solid, photos are vibrant and nicely detailed, colors are accurate, and the shutter is really quick. Dynamic range is pretty good too, with everything well exposed. In low light, however, the image gets softer and there is more noise. Thankfully, the night mode makes things better thanks to the power of the Snapdragon 888 processor. The macro camera does its job, but the quality isn't always that good. I wouldn't use it often. There is no actual telephoto camera on this phone, but thanks to the 64 megapixel main sensor, you can get great and detailed shots at 10x. And finally, let's talk about video. This phone can record up to 4K 60 frames per second. The dynamic range and the stabilization are great, especially for camera without optical image stabilization. The super steady mode is amazing, though it's only 1080p. Sadly, the mic quality isn't as good as the video. The stabilization is amazing. Moreover, the GT's camera is really good for the money. It won't compete against the S21 and iPhone 12s, but it gets the job done. As for the battery life, whether I'm home or outside, the 4500 mAh cell is enough for a full day of use. During my week of testing, I've been using the GT for photos, videos, cloud gaming, watching YouTube and use social media apps all at 120Hz, and I had no problem getting through a full day of use. I was even around 20 to 30% at the end of the day. And if you want to go further, you can turn on super power saving or turn off 120Hz. For charging, there is a 65W super dart charger who can get your Realme from 0 to 100% in just 35 minutes. This is really useful if you forgot to charge at night and you need power for the day. Okay, so that's the Realme GT. From the shiny hardware to the feature-packed software, this phone is a great package for $400. It hasn't got all the bells and whistles that the $1000 flagship have, but it gets the job done. Is this the flagship killer of this year? Well, it depends on what you care. If you want the best performance, great screen, great battery life and a good camera in daylight, this phone is for you. At a starting price of $449, it's a way better deal than the Mi 11, the OnePlus 9. Personally, I really enjoyed my time with the GT. Let me know what you think about the GT in the comments. This is a new format for me that was made possible thanks to Realme. If you have any suggestions to improve the quality of my videos, feel free to comment them. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.